Can't say everything on this show tonight was great. But I can say is if you're not excited for SummerSlam, you might need to check your pulse. Oh yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Chick, with your August, 3rd Raw review. We are in full swing heading to SummerSlam. We have our one main event already in place, just like NXT have their one main event in place. Tyler Breeze and Jushin Thunder Liger is also a thing, but it hasn't been announced yet. Going into this show tonight, I got actually a chance to watch the pre-show tonight. We know we were going to get Roman and Ambrose and Orton versus the Wyatts and Sheamus, which is, I guess, throw a couple rivalries together. It's WWE style. Charlotte and Becky versus the Bellas, which is one team member away from the Becky and Paige versus the Bellas that I want so much, because Becky being in AJ's place, recreating that match from WrestleMania, the last one that she was at. But that's what we knew going in. We also knew going in that Raw was going to start off with a video tribute to Roddy Piper, as they do, WWE production, etc., etc., etc. Always do good with the tribute things. They did the 10 bells. It's always nice to see the 10 bells, the entire roster, including the McMahon family, out there on the rampway. People have asked me, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? Do I want to talk about... Okay, here's the deal, guys. People ask me why I don't do the tribute things and come up here and say a lot. First of all, I'm not a historian. I can't speak as intelligently on the career of Roddy Piper as some people. If you want a really good little tribute bit, little farewell bit, I do suggest you all check out Good Mic Work and the video that he did. The other reason I don't do it is because, you know, it's a trending topic. I hate to say it like that. Death is a trending topic, and a trending topic will obviously get you more views on your video. Now, I'm not Alex, and I'm not Preston. I'm not going to use somebody's death to up my view count. I'm not going to use a superstar, a legend in our industry's death to plug another show, as some people do. I'm definitely, even though I'm not monetized, I am not a YouTube partner. Even if I was, especially if I was, I'm not going to use this particular forum and this particular subject matter to make money. So I will say, rest in peace, Roddy Piper, legend, never be forgotten. The whole shtick that people have been saying for a couple weeks now. You know, we lost Dusty Rhodes not too long ago. Now we lost Roddy Piper as well. It's a 1-2 punch as far as the history of our industry. I shouldn't say our industry, but the industry that we are a fan of. And it sucks. I mean, honestly, it really does. You know, you can say everything you want. He did what Hogan did. He transcended the business. You know, famous line from that movie of his, you know, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of bubblegum. All that sort of thing. You can pull out the Roddy Piper quotes just like Ambrose did tonight, you know. Kick ass, chew bubblegum, just when you thought you had all the answers, I changed the questions and all that sort of thing. And the other thing about this, and this is why I bring up Good Mic Work and shooters like that, I could come up here and I could say these things, I could do a little video, I could say, look at me, I did my bit, look how great I am. But there's nothing I can say, and I don't mean this in a negative respect to Piper, obviously, but there's nothing I can say that hasn't already been said in the past couple of days. Does that make sense? I don't want to belabor the point. We knew going into Raw tonight that they were going to do an excellent tribute, as they did. People throughout the night, and I'm going to mention it, paying tremendous respect to Roddy Piper. So R.I.P. Roddy Piper, and we will move on. Starts off with Seth Rollins. No Cena promo, no authority, just Rollins on his own. They replay the whole thing where Seth Rollins broke John Cena's nose, and Rollins comes out with a mock-up of a John Cena shirt that says "Never shut up," and on the back it says "You can't see knee," which is great. And it wasn't until after the fact I thought it was done up as a gimmick for Rollins, specifically for this promo. But my good friend and former co-host Steffi Sunshine texted me the link to WWE Shop, and that is a legit T-shirt that you can buy on WWE Shop, which is great. And the crowd, as soon as he came out, as soon as his music turned down, chanting, "Thank you, Rollins." Now, here's where I have a problem. And I don't have the same problem that most people have. I have a problem with most people. Yes, Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, whatever his real name is, injured John Cena in real life. And that is terrible. And that is never something you should cheer, and that is never something you should hope for. You guys know, for me of all people, to have the turnaround that I've had with John Cena this year, I've got a tremendous amount of respect for the guy. Obviously, I don't want to see him injured. You know, say it. But, here's the deal. Rollins was talking about it in a promo, which means they're going to use the broken nose to push forward the story going to SummerSlam. So what I can say is, kayfabe, if you want to cheer the character Seth Rollins for breaking the character John Cena's nose, go the fuck for it. And if you're gonna try and say that people are bad, I had people tweeting me, oh, you know, the WWE is sick, the WWE is bloodthirsty, the fans are sick, the fans are bloodthirsty, this is why we need PG, and all this other crap that I got directed to me tonight on Twitter for thinking that this was fucking hilarious, can go and fuck yourself. Oh yes. Seth Rollins comes out and says, I'm so great that the only one that can slow me down is me. I've got too much sympathy, and I learned that last week. And he starts visually describing the feeling of breaking John Cena's nose, the cartilage breaking, the bones cracking, all that sort of thing. He says he broke the face of the man that runs the place, and that puts a big smile on my face. Cena and the ref made me continue that match. We all know that at that point, Cena shouldn't have continued. They should have stopped the match and awarded the belt to me. That's a great Healy thing to do. My sympathy cost me the match, and that's why John Cena was able to beat me. It won't happen again, and he lays it out. No authority, no J&J, no Kane, no Triple H, no Stephanie, no... Seth Rollins, on his own, standing as an island in the ring, challenges John Cena, title for title, winner take all at SummerSlam. And yes, you can say whatever you want about John Cena, but 2005 United States Champion John Cena versus 2005 WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, title for title, at the probably the biggest SummerSlam ever, then shut the fuck up and take my money. That is what it is. Tonight, he's going to have a WWE title open challenge, and, you know, smirk on his face, so you know something's gonna come up. Come back from commercial break, and JoJo's with him in the ring, says, is this legit? He says, yeah, but WWE, you know, the authority made me put a couple of caveats on it. It has to be somebody under 6 foot. It has to be somebody under 200 pounds. So he says he challenges El Torito. El Torito's music plays for a second, and then it turns off, and Neville's music comes up. Immediate, loud, and I will admit, raucous NXT chance, as we have Rollins versus Neville for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Chain wrestling to start, including lots of headlocks by Rollins, mudhole by Rollins in 2 different corners. I'm going to stomp you over here, then I'm going to move you over here and stomp you over here. A boot, a head scissor, and a twisting suicide dive by Neville. Neville hits a running crossbody on Rollins out of the ring. Top rope, I can read my writing, I swear. Once Rollins is outside, Neville hits him with a top rope twisting crossbody on the outside, which takes us to commercial break. We come back, boots by Rollins and a headlock. Rollins hangs Neville's gut on the ropes, which is a good, you know, you got a guy jumping around doing all this acrobatic stuff, take the wind out of him, injury his midsection, it's a good little thing. Rollins rides a headlock, because as I always say, the heels are the nicest guys on the planet. They're the ones that are going to remind you, hey guys, just in case you forgot, I'm a bad guy. Jawjacker and kicks and elbows by Neville. Slingblade by Rollins. And I know Slingblade is Finn Balor's name for the maneuver, but because WWE announcers don't call things anymore, I'm going to call it what it is, and what I know it as is the Sling Blade. So, again, it's another one of those situations where, sorry, if you were one of the ones correcting me on Twitter, you get one of these. Corner splash by Rollins, and Rollins hits a top rope nothing and lands face first in Neville's super kick. And then... lands face first into Neville's super kick, and then Neville hits him with what I'm assuming was supposed to be a reverse Rana, but the reverse Rana comes down so hard on its head that it almost has a reverse DDT effect. I don't know what you would call that. Reverse Rana DT? It was quite effective. If that had ended the match, you're like, pause. You go into this match, no, just after the promo that Rollins cut about him and Cena at SummerSlam, you know, going into this match, that Rollins is winning, or there's going to be a fuck-up finish. But if you suspend your disbelief for a second, which is what we all need to do as wrestling fans, and say that Neville had the chance to win the title. If that maneuver, whatever the hell you want to call it, had won the title, I wouldn't have had a problem with it, because it was the perfect measure of Neville pulling off a ridiculous move, Rollins selling it perfectly, and it looked like grim death. Moving on. Slingshot belly to back suplex by Neville, a super kick to Rollins on his knees, deadlift bridging German suplex by Neville, which is good. You know, you talk about the outside in suplex that Cesaro does, and everybody talks about his strength and all that. Neville, the core strength it's got to take Neville to do that deadlift German is remarkable. Wicked lariat by Rollins. Neville counters the pedigree into a jackknife pin attempt, which is kind of fun. Boots by Rollins. Hurricane Rana off the top rope by Neville. Red Arrow gets a near fall, and this is where everybody gets... The air went out of the building. Neville hits the Red Arrow and gets a near fall because he hooks him, but he hooks him too far and actually pushes Rollins' foot over onto the ropes. The second Red Arrow misses. He falls with a splat, gets the pedigree, and Rollins gets the win. Neville, I swear to God, if anybody says Neville got buried in this match, I won't tell you you're wrong. What I will say is explain to me your methods. Explain to me, show your work, as I say. I won't say you're wrong if you're a really, really rabid Neville fan. And trust me, I'm a Neville fan too. But if you're a really, really rabid Neville fan that actually thinks that Neville got robbed tonight, please, I invite you, with all sarcasm aside, down in the box below, show your work. Because I can't understand that personally. New Day and the Ascension take on the Matadors and the Lucha Dragons, which I didn't write down because here's one of many things on tonight's show that I really could have done without. I get it. We've got a lot of tag teams. We want to showcase the tag teams in the same period of time as we're really trying to push the Diva Revolution, so we want to showcase the Divas. But this is the 4th or 5th week in a row that we've had a 4-on-4 8-man tag with primetime players on commentary. Primetime players on commentary isn't as funny as people seem to think it is. Again, my personal opinion. The best thing of the whole match was before it even started, Xavier Woods came over to the commentator desk looking at primetime players and say, "Commentary again, eh? It's a good thing you're fighting champions," which is fucking great. New Day and the Ascension win, and I proceed to yawn a little bit. Take out the Ascension, take out the Matadors. Primetime players versus New Day versus the Lucha Dragons is what we're going to get at SummerSlam. People are saying have a gauntlet match just because we've got the time, and that's not the reason to do things. But I do have to say, the rumor on Twitter is fucking wonderful. Brad Maddox and Adam Rose as Team Beef Mode. As a team that's having matches at house shows and stuff like that. Apparently, they're gonna be a gay tag team. They're revisiting the Chuck and Billy thing, which I'm not offended by. I'm just gonna find it hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm not asked with it, as some people might say. Next, we have the Bella Twins with Alicia Fox, obviously, versus Charlotte and Becky with Paige in their corner. Charlotte, Becky, and Paige are the only team that doesn't really have a name yet until tonight, where they let us know that their name is the Submission Sorority, which I think is fucking brilliant. What I think is equally brilliant is Becky Lynch immediately hopping on Twitter with a tweet, something to the effect of, haha, sorority, or sorry, haha, submission sorority, and it's a picture of Becky Lynch tapping out at the last NXT pay-per-view, which is great and funny and whatever, but it's good. I mean, you got the PTO, you got the figure 8, and you got the fuck's Becky Lynch's the Disarmer. So it's a good little thing. You got Team Bad, which is lame purely by the involvement of Naomi, and you got the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox, who all know I have no problem with whatsoever. Submission sorority. So Brie starts with Becky. There's a collar and elbow tie up, an arm wringer and a hammerlock. Multiple running leg drops by Becky, who tags in Charlotte and keeps that going with a couple of random knee drops. Chick kick by Nikki and a standing headlock. Front face lock by Charlotte. Slam off the second rope by Nikki and a double team rolling leg lock by the Bellas, which I guarantee you, if that exact same maneuver had been done by somebody from NXT, it would have set Twitter on fire. But the Bellas, A, are not from NXT, so they're not allowed to get cheered. And B, it's in the YWC rulebook, you're not allowed to cheer for the Bellas, which is bullshit. Chokehold with a post by Brie, which is nice. A backpack stunner by Charlotte, which is also great. Rolling clotheslines and a leg lariat by Becky. Disarmer by Becky. Attempt, and she breaks it up. Becky is triple teamed when she gets tapped out on the outside by all three members of Team Bella. We come back from commercial break. We got a knee face buster from Nikki to Becky. A double team slam by the Bellas. And Brie puts her opponent in the corner, reminds us about her husband with, say it loud and say it proud, the Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Oh, yes, in the corner. Running bulldog by Brie and a running knee. Seated abdominal stretch by Brie. Multiple uppercuts by Becky and a double clothesline spot takes them both down. Knife edge chops, a neck breaker, and a spear by Charlotte to Nikki. Becky T-bones Brie. Nikki hits a spine buster on Charlotte. Figure eight by Charlotte gets the win for the submission sorority. I'm gonna not stumble on that name, but great match. Great match. As I say, it does frustrate. Guys, so that I am not misunderstood, I love the infusion of the NXT divas. I do, 100%. I have no problem with it. What I have a problem with is, ooh, it's new and shiny, we're not going to cheer for anybody else anymore. I have a big problem with that because, as I say, Bellas, you can say have their flaws, but what have the Bellas really had to work with until these girls came up, other than Paige, and even that got exhausted after a while. But since these girls have come up and they've got this big, revolution, big focus on the Divas division, the Bellas, Alicia Fox, Tamina, everybody but Naomi have gotten better. And if you don't believe me, wait until later on in this show. Naomi in the back watching the match. Oh my god. They make fun of the submission sorority's new name, talk some shit about Paige, talks about how they're the baddest women on the planet, and then talk some random shit about Ronda Rousey to get some attention. That would be Naomi. Miz TV starts off with Miz giving some props to Piper's Pit. He comes out in his own version of a kilt and a hot rod t-shirt. Has a sort of out-of-character moment with the calling his show the second best talk show in wrestling history, because there would be no there would be no highlight reel, there would be no peep show, there would be no Miz TV, there would be no Heartbreak Hotel, there would be no anything else if it wasn't for Piper's Pit. Does a nice tribute to Piper. Now, I know it's also in the YWC rulebook that you're not allowed to cheer for the Miz, but I hope at least that the people out there will give Miz credit for doing that, because that was a classy move. He says, but he goes back into character, says, I'm on fire, I'm a star, I'm a host, I'm a wrestler, and I'm soon to be the IC champion. He mocks Ryback, and he says, why can't you do the right thing like Daniel Bryan and vacate the title if you can't defend it? Which made me smile lots. Kevin Owens is his first guest. He says, I'm a fan of The Miz. Says Cesaro's jealous of me because I've done more than him in just 3 months of being here. Cesaro says, oh, I just want to come out and hear you talk, Mr. Walk Owens Walk. Owens goes on a big long spiel. I've succeeded where you've failed. I've done more in 3 months than you've done since you've been here. It's all very, very simplistic, which makes it... Alright, Cesaro channeling his inner Cena. I will say this much. I'm ashamed of you. You disrespect yourself. You disrespect these fans and the industry that we all work for. You disrespect your opponent when you walk away from the matches like you do. Sir, you, sir, are an embarrassment. Cesaro calls out Owens. He says, you're good at talking and walking. Too bad I'm only good at fighting. Owens says what Owens always says. I will fight for the right price on my own terms. And by the way, go fuck yourself. Owens tosses Miz into Cesaro. Cesaro almost gets the Cesaro swing, but Owens escapes. Obviously, this is going to happen at SummerSlam. Throw in Miz, make it a triple threat match, just for your boy, Spaz Phoenix. Alright. They did, in fact, show the clip from after Ronda Rousey's fight on the weekend where she dedicated her victory to Roddy Piper, which I thought was really classy, considering Dana White and all his bullshit. I'm surprised they let that footage be shown on a WWE program. Rusev versus Mark Henry was a piece of shit that I'm not even going to get into. Rusev wins. Mark Henry looks like a bumbling idiot in this match, and then he gets attacked after the match. With all the rumors of Dolph Ziggler returning this week, I thought Dolph Ziggler would have come out and saved Mark Henry, but he didn't. We didn't get Ziggler. We didn't get Lana. We got Summer Rae looking hot as fuck on the outside, and that's about it. We go to the commentators who push the 4-hour SummerSlam. I should say, earlier in the night, the commentators had a little 2-minute talking segment to really talk up NXT, which I thought was great, which I didn't write down. They promote the WWE Network. We have a creepy as fuck Wyatt promo like usual, but Sheamus is in the you know, dark room with all the smoke and steam and all the creepy Wyatt stuff. Sheamus is there. I don't know how I feel about that. You do have an interaction between Sheamus and Wyatt. Wyatt saying, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So tonight you can consider us friends. And Sheamus just says, you know, you guys can have Ambrose and Roman, and let me take care of Orton by myself. Which leads the mind to believe, then why isn't there a tag match and a singles match? Oh wait, they're building towards SummerSlam. Wait, what's that? What's that? WWE doesn't build any storylines, but they're building a storyline. Oh. And fuck yes, Ryder versus Barrett was a thing, and Ryder got destroyed. He got his broski boot in, and that's about it. Primetime Players and Mark Henry versus The New Day on SmackDown this week, which you will be able to see, and you will be able to get all my thoughts on this Wednesday on the fights on Wednesday night. Stay tuned. Heyman comes out. Says, before my beast comes out, he says, I want to talk about the fact that The Undertaker picked this fight, not Brock Lesnar. Undertaker is a submissive little bitch to Brock Lesnar. And he says, you know, he's sort of had to adjust his shtick a little bit. Brock Lesnar is the one in now 22-1. Lesnar comes to the ring before he comes to the ring, he puts steps in the ring and stands on the steps, which is great. If you watch the Olympics, which I don't, if you watch the Pan Am Games, which just finished, which I don't, it's great because he looked like he was standing on a winner's podium, and you got very, very loud Suplex City chants. Obviously, last year, Heyman continues his promo after Lesnar comes out, obviously. Last year, after his match with Brock Lesnar, Taker left in an ambulance, spent 1 week in a hospital, and spent 1 year recovering. Taker begged Vince McMahon for a rematch at next year's WrestleMania. Vince says no, because Vince knew what would happen to The Undertaker if he got back in the ring with My Beast. Undertaker came back and did what he did at Battleground to force WWE's hand. He then goes on this big tirade, and he gets excited the way Heyman does, referring to this rematch as the match too big for WrestleMania, which, when you consider how much they're trying to build SummerSlam this year, is fucking beautiful. Taker, I promise you, you're going to Suplex City. Last time you needed an ambulance, a week in the hospital, and a year to recover. This time you will need last rites. This time you will rest in pieces. And then he does the shtick, which I only know from Boondock Saints, the in nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, Amen. You know, not a lot of people are going to stand there and give metaphorical last rites to the dead man. That's nice. It was a nice, neat little thing. A lot of people, again, I was very attentive to Twitter tonight because there was a lot of stuff that I was curious about the reaction to. A lot of people pissed off that Undertaker wasn't there to retort. And I'm sorry, like, when you have Heyman out there just talking shit like he sometimes does, I mean, still, when he's just talking shit, it's good. But by the time you got to the end of this promo, when Heyman's eyes are bulging out of his head and he's doing the in nomine Patri, etc., I don't know the whole bit. I don't speak Latin or whatever that is. This is the kind of promo you just want to finish and let it sit, if that makes any sense. If Lesnar's not going to be at Raw next week, let that be where Taker makes his retort. You know, do it that way. Do it that way. Do it so we've seen the initial brawl. We know what they want to do to each other. Now let them pick at each other. Let them pick at each other. You know, let them each one of them miss the other one. Almost, you know, oh, pokeroo, I missed him again. But, you know, pick the carcass of whatever's left, and then have the feast, which is the Beast versus the Phenom at SummerSlam. Yeah, I did that. That was really fucking corny. But I hope you guys get my point. If these guys don't touch again between now and SummerSlam, great. The way they're building up SummerSlam, like I said, the match too big for WrestleMania. Paul Heyman's a fucking genius. Paige versus Naomi. And, okay, here's what I'm going to say. To everybody out there that says that I am a racist, that says that I only can't stand Naomi because she's black, which is funny because there's a lot of other black people that I'm a fan of. I've said multiple times, anybody else? Anyway, bring Jacqueline back. Give the title to Alicia Fox. Give the title to Sasha Banks, who's mixed. Tamina, I could live with it. I don't like Naomi. I don't care if she was purple. She sucks. And here we go. And if you don't want to hear me talk about Naomi, skip this bit. You guys are entitled to your opinions. You guys are entitled to your opinions. You guys are entitled to your opinions. I make no more apologies for my opinion on Naomi. Naomi bails right away to start off the match, which sets the tone. Collar and elbow time and a snapmare by Paige. Running knee by Paige and those reverse turnbuckle elbows that she does. Naomi eats a lot of turnbuckles in a mud hole by Paige. Naomi responds. Her first move in this match is to rub her ass on Paige's face. Thanks for that. Running knee and the 10 knees in the corner by Paige. Sasha distracts on the outside. Naomi botches the fuck out of something. And I swear to God, that is what my notes say. Naomi botches the fuck out of something. I don't know whether she's going for a backbreaker, a neck breaker, a code breaker, a kick, Go back and watch the match if you don't believe me. It's fucking bad. So Naomi says, well, I can't do actual moves. I'm just gonna do boots because they're not hard. She hits a half-ass bulldog and rides a headlock to remind us that even though she sucks, she's a heel. Naomi sits awkwardly on Paige's face, because that's a move, and hits more kicks. Follow-away slam by Paige, rolling clotheslines by Paige. Naomi eats ring post, which is great. Naomi misses a top rope splash and flops around like a fish, gets it up in time for the super kick, the PTO, and to hand a very deserving victory over to my girl, Paige. Oh yes, Naomi, bye-bye. Naomi should be on Tough Enough. Naomi should be in the Ghost of FCW. Naomi is not even good enough for NXT. Naomi can kiss my ass. Moving on. We have an Ambrose, Orton, and Reigns promo in the back, basically mirroring the promo that Wyatt and Harper and Sheamus did earlier with Ambrose with Roman basically addressing their issues with the Wyatts and the whole Orton-Sheamus thing kind of being a side issue. Orton just kind of wanders on by and says, whatever you guys want to do, just leave Sheamus for me. Ambrose comes up with a good little line where it's like, finally that guy has a good attitude, which is great if you think about Orton in the Authority facing the Shield and all that sort of Orton in Evolution facing the Shield, and it's just good. And like I say, Ambrose did the whole quoting Roddy Piper, bubblegum, kicking ass, all that sort of thing. Paige was also out there wrestling in a Hot Rod shirt. And oh yes, just Paige, 100%, any day of the week. Create Diva Tag Team titles and put them on Becky and Paige. Just do it. Orton, Ambrose, and Reigns versus Wyatt, Harper, and Sheamus. Ambrose and Harper brawl to start. Flying crossbody by Ambrose. Everybody in, the faces clear the ring, and Ambrose hits a suicide dive on all three heels. That's the that's the section of the match that takes us into the first commercial break. Roman and Sheamus trade punches when we get back, and then they trade punches on the outside. Roman eats guardrail twice. Roman and Luke lock up in a collar and elbow tie-up. Standing vertical suplex by Roman. Ambrose stomps a mud hole, and Harper hits a drop kick. Ground and pound by Wyatt, and Wyatt swats Ambrose off the top rope to the outside in a great-looking bump, because Ambrose is about tied with Dolph Ziggler in the ability to ragdoll category. That sends us into our second commercial break of this match. Wyatt rides a headlock and hits a lariat clothesline. Knee drops to the head by Harper, and a slam. Slam by Ambrose, who tosses Harper out of the ring. Swinging neckbreaker by Ambrose. Clotheslines, a scoop slam, and a backbreaker by Orton. Doing, okay, I will admit the Orton 5 moves of doom, but whatever. Suspension DDT on Wyatt is good. Clothesline by Harper on Orton. Clothesline by Harper on the outside on Ambrose. Poetry in motion off the steps by Roman Reigns, which as a Hardy fan makes me smile, a big smile. Roman Samoan drops Sheamus and then tosses him out of the ring. He's got a drive-by for Sheamus on the ringside and Wyatt on the commentator's table. Superman punch for Harper. Superman punch for Harper off the apron. Superman punch for Sheamus in the ring. Boot by Harper to Roman. Rebound clothesline by Ambrose. Suicide dive by Ambrose on Harper. RKO on Wyatt. Spear to Sheamus gets you the win. And the last thing we see as we go off the air is Paige getting ready to do the Austin podcast, which I'm going to watch as soon as I'm done recording this for you guys. A lot of dead air tonight. I will say Rusev and Mark Henry I could have done without because it didn't go anywhere. Ryder versus Wade Barrett. I don't know why. I think they dropped the ball with the tag team division this week. But what was good was really fucking good. I mean, the typical thrown together tag team main event, which was what it was still good. What else? The two Divas Paige was good, and the Divas tag match was good. Naomi did a good job of going out there and proving me right. Neville versus Rollins to start the show was great. Heyman on the mic is great. The segment with the Miz and Owens and Cesaro, I want to say something, because a couple different things had to happen. You knew that there was going to be a promo with Cesaro and Owens. Now, would that have started out with Michael Cole interviewing Owens like Michael Cole does and then Cesaro interfering? Could we have done the same thing? Sure. Could they have had an interview with Cesaro where Owens came out and interfered? Sure. But here's the thing. The Miz is a good punching bag for Owens to throw at Cesaro for one thing. But also, the Miz paid tribute to Roddy Piper in a way that only he can. He's the only one in WWE right now that has sort of that talk show shtick, which could pay proper tribute to Roddy Piper in Piper's Pit. The only other way that they could have done it would be to have Jericho or Edge or somebody like that who had a show up for one night to have a cutting edge or a highlight reel or whatever in memory of Roddy Piper. And they could have done that. Absolutely. I'm not saying that they couldn't have. But the fact that Miz does this now, Miz representing the current roster, saying goodbye to Roddy Piper in a way that only he could, and the way that he completely broke character at the beginning of the segment to do so was really, really good. Coming out in the hot rod shirt and the kilt and the whole bit. It was good. I'm not saying you have to like the rest of the segment. I'm really not. If you don't like The Miz, I guess all power to you. Miz is my boy. You guys know that. The rest of the segment was pretty much by the letter what you expect from a Miz TV segment, so I'm not expecting it to set the world on fire. But the respectful things that people did tonight, Ambrose out there and quoting Piper and wearing the shirt and whatever, Paige going out there, same thing. Miz doing what he did. Obviously the 10 bells at the beginning. WWE did a lot of things tonight in the current show. It wasn't just like they went into their archives and threw up a couple videos and said, okay, that's the end of the day. They really had the stars pay tribute to Roddy Piper in their own way, which is a lot better. You throw up a couple random videos, it seems very piecemeal and very, okay, we had to do something, so here you go. But to let the stars do it themselves was a really, really cool thing. And that specifically, because Piper's Pit is such a big part of WWE history, I thought that either The Miz opting to do that or them getting The Miz to do that, whichever way it goes. I don't really care which way it went, but it was a really cool thing, and the other ones doing what they did as well was a really, really cool thing. But we're going towards SummerSlam, guys. Taker versus Lesnar is off the charts. We now know that we're going to get Cena Rollins. We're probably going to get Owens Cesaro. We're probably going to get the two remaining members of the Shield versus the two remaining members of the Wyatt family. We're not going to get Leo Kruger because beef mode is coming. I want to start a fucking hashtag. Beef mode is coming. Then that could be taken a number of ways. If maybe we shouldn't do that. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go watch the Austin podcast. I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, tagging out. Bye, guys.